obey, right? That's like a product or whatever. Everyone wants you to obey the rulers and stuff. This is from an organization that leaks information from around the world or whatever. I forgot what they're called, but there's just headless, which is the beam. I don't know what that's from. More Illuminati symbolism. Oh, there's two different Illuminatis too. Okay. There's the Illuminatis, which means those people that have knowledge, because knowledge is personified as light, or it's symbolized as light. All right. There's people that have the knowledge and they use that knowledge selfishly. That's the Illuminati that you're used to hearing about. It's the one that you're used to seeing. It's the one that is hiding in plain sight. They're in the public eye all over the place. All right. They hold meetings and stuff, invite you to come to their congregations or whatever. That's one side of the Illuminati. The other side of the Illuminati don't have a membership. They don't gather together. They're like seeds spread to the wind. These people have knowledge that's ancient that they don't understand why. They don't even know that they're Illuminati half the time, okay? But they don't go around forcing the knowledge upon you. They'll never knock on your door. They'll never try to tell you the good news about whatever they think it is. They'll never try to sway your opinion. They'll never say, as a matter of fact, this is how it is or whatever. They're guides. They're lights in the world, okay? They're not out. They have no agenda except to be light. It just comes natural to them. Anyways, just thought I would throw that out there. That's also the whole all-seeing eye with the Dalet and stuff like that. Same thing. However, that one has a sword in the middle of it. That represents Mount Meru with the sword, the beam that's retracted because it's facing down instead of up. More eye symbolism. The Star of David. David is the Dalet, right? Or I'm sorry. There's a Dalet at the top of the world, and there's a Dalet at the bottom. There's an entrance into the earth, and there's an entrance into the heavens. Connecting them is the tent peg, or the Vav, that spells David's name. David is the plasma man, or, squatter man, etc. New World Order, Illuminati, we've talked about all this kind of stuff, all the symbolism. The owl. The owl's face is just created by the beam that shoots up. As you can see, the eyebrows also make the phoenix feathers, the thunderbird, the bird of creation, the cosmic bird, right? It's not actual owls. They don't really care about the bird owl at all. Okay, it's just symbolic. And it symbolizes the beam of plasma that shoots up out of Mount Meru and spreads its wings and creates these toroidal instabilities on either side, or a torus field that people see. And it looks like, depending on your perspective, it looks like a face of an owl. Okay. Let's see. We talked about all this. I don't know why I included so much of this symbolism here. I was going kind of fast. George Washington, he's symbolic. I don't think he's real. If you think he's real, it's fine. I'm not here to debate. I'm just letting you know I'm not convinced, okay? I don't think this is a real dude at all. I think he is a cartoon mascot that represents an organization, all right? He's between the pillars of Hercules right here. There's the ladder, which is the beam that shoots up into the depressurization point. This is Jacob's ladder. They always have this stuff. I could break down all this stuff, dude. The black and white checkerboard floor, that's the space between worlds, right? Heaven is white. And then the shadow worlds, the dark cities where we live on the game of life chessboard or whatever. We've already broken down that symbol. This is your Gmail over here, the apron, the bricklayers, right? The tile makers, the tilers of the world. The sash represents the plasma that spirals as it goes upwards. Same thing here. Right. I don't really want to break all of it down. Oh, the broken column. Okay. So remember I said there's an anode and cathode beam, the two witnesses on either side of Mount Meru in the center, right? Well, one of them is stronger than the other one. So oftentimes one will just disappear completely, or it'll seem to, as the other one intensifies. And that's the broken pillar. It's the death of, Tammuz, basically. Hold up. Anything else I want to really point out? Nah, I don't know. Let's just move forward. I got way too much stuff to... This represents the Garden of Eden and the energetic barrier that goes around it. It's not eating its own tail, or it would just shrink in size and die. Right? It's moving. It's a circuit. Same thing with this. This is just fancier. The Bohemian Grove, where they have the giant trees, redwoods. Oh my God, these are amazing. One day I might go there. Not to the Bohemian Grove, but to Redwood Forest or Sequoia National Park. It's an amazing place. That's the owl worshipping, like I talked about. You know what I mean? I just broke that whole symbolism down for you guys. Owl, the Shriners, all this stuff, same symbolism. Bricklayers, world builders, the controllers of the world. We talked about this, the mist. There's me at DIA. That's why they're always pointing up, by the way. You'll see me do that sometimes. It's a reminder not to forget that there is a dome above and that there is power beyond that dome. This is also I think this is some kind of time capsule or something that was laid. And you can clearly see, like, they just have the Illuminati right out there in the public. This is the Illuminati that you're aware of. They don't care. They're not hiding. You know what I mean? They're known about. It's the unknown ones. This is the real human hand. This was petrified by a man named Girolamo Sagato. Look it up. It's very interesting. He was killed because of his knowledge. He was murdered, and all his knowledge and his research was burned by goons from the government. He knew how to turn people into rock. This is a real hand that's on display in a museum. There's other body parts too. He made a table for some disturbing royalty figure made of human body parts. Cthulhu, we talked about. This is the Plain of Jars over near Thailand. And just gigantic megalithic jars, hollow vessels that are clearly vessels of some sort, right? It seems to me that they were probably created by giants, okay? And they're just strewn about. This also happens to be a place where the United States heavily focused on dropping artillery and bombs during Vietnam. Imagine that. That they would blow up these things and try to get rid of them, right? They're constantly trying to get rid of all the evidence for all of this hidden history. Okay, they don't want you to even have a splinter of your mind or a bit of doubt as to the official narrative that this is the way it is. This is just the way that it is. It's not. It's the way it is now because it's the way they have shaped it to be and created it to be. But that's not always the way that it was. Even Truth in Movies, Jason Voorhees, he represents zombies, which are totally real. I met a kid today that's like, zombies are not real. And I'm like, oh my God. Yes, they are. I mean, I'm not going to go teach other kids stuff, like let their parents teach them whatever. But dudes, zombies are real, okay? Jason Voorhees is just symbolic of something that's very real, which is zombies. And zombies will rise from the dead one day, and the dead will come back to life, period. Like, I'm not debating that. You know what I mean? There's no question about it. I've researched that topic so much for decades. I'm convinced. I know zombies are real, okay? I know that there's a resurrection. I know that the dead come back to life. Where's the white hockey mask face just to symbolize like the white color of the phantazoids and stuff like that. The red sky and the association of the red sky with survivors who basically become superheroes and heroines of the future. Krang, another space brain from Dimension X, which is Nibiru, which is just the portal in the sky. More Cthulhu stuff. This is actually from King Kong or whatever, but it's the same type of stuff. This is electricity and all the different forms that it can take in the world today based on the conditions that we have in this world today. Right now, most people only are aware of lightning. That's it. They're not aware of upward super bolts. They're not aware of blue jets. They're not aware of gigantic sprites and tendrils that come down like, or there it is, like my jelly, right? They're not aware of gigantic halos of plasma called elves, right? And all these things are quick flashes in our sky today, but they're lasting longer and longer as our world is quickly filling up with more gases from the ocean, releasing all of its oxygen from all the heat and other things too. But in the world to come, these won't be quick flashes. They call these transient luminous events, but they're quickly happening in today's world. In the world to come, when all that pressure is released, and there's way more gases and there's way more electrical charge in the atmosphere, these things won't be little flashes of light. They'll be moving about, hanging around for very long periods of time. And trust me, you'll try to figure them out. These are also like the thunderbolts of the gods. Oftentimes these are drawn up there in the skies, especially sprites. They look just like this in antiquity. They show them holding onto it just like that. Well, if I make it bigger, actually, it's like Zeus's thunderbolt. That's exactly what that is. Let's see. The hidden ones, so they want to hide their identities, conceal themselves and whatnot. They don't, they want you to know who they are and what they're really up to and stuff. Oh, this is interesting too. So these are all the different levels within the different rites of Freemasonry, right? I'm not going to break down the symbolism. I just want you to see the different initiative rites or the different levels that you can achieve, right? Everyone's familiar with like the 33rd degree, which is up here, Inspector General or whatever, right? But down here, they have words like Elu. Remember how I said elf comes from the word Elu? It means of God, or elf, basically, or a leader. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. This is an actual island in Thailand. This is called Maya Bay. And there's a Titan lying right down there sleeping on her side. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a big fat face right here. There's a shoulder and an arm and a hand right there. There's some hips right back here. And damn if that isn't a petrified, gigantic, titanic being to me. Okay? And I don't even care if it's not. I think that's amazing that it would resemble it that much. I can see facial features in this petrified woman. Moana's Te Fiti. And I've looked around the island.